Hello painters and welcome to our channel Pintado, Juego. I'm Silvia and in today's video we're going to show you how to paint Imperial Fist Space Marines. We're going to be using yellow essential colors, 3rd generation acrylics from AK Interactive. If you want to see this tutorial, follow me. Here you can find the list of all the colors we've used in this video. We are going to start by priming the miniature in black. Remember that you can use any black color from any brand, whether it's a specialized primer paint or not. We always use the black color from Vallejo to prime our miniatures, but you can choose the brand you feel most comfortable with. As you can see, we prime all parts of this mini in black, and you may wonder why if we are going to paint it yellow. Well, let's just say, stay with us and you will be surprised. This is the color set we are using. As you can see, there are 6 yellow paints in total, and we are going to begin with volcanic yellow, which we will thin with acrylic thinner. This paint seemed a bit too light for our liking, so as we wanted to create some shade, we added some golden brown into the mix. Here you can see that the yellow starts to stick to the mini even with black color underneath, which seems crazy when you think about all the yellow paints we've all used before. Already at this point, we think this formula is amazing and we're really liking these colors from AK Interactive. The coverage is really good after a couple of thin coats, and although the miniature may seem bright right now, once dry, the color is more matte. It can be used with brush as well, even though it is more difficult to apply, but it's possible and the result is good, so we've decided to paint the edges of the shield by brush. Next, we add some more volcanic yellow and start working on the lights. Another way to do this would have been to paint some parts in white and then add this yellow on top. But overall, we liked how this mini turned out and we've enjoyed the process. This figure has a lot of details, which is why it's better to paint each part separately to allow for the paint to reach all recesses and crevices. We continue with black color to paint all the armor joints as well as the metallic parts. We mix Cassandra Yellow with Lamian Medium, which helps us prevent pooling of the wash. If this happens, just remember to use the brush to remove any excess paint. To apply the wash, we're using a thicker brush so that we can use more of the liquid and apply the wash evenly. Some may not agree with this method, but it works for us. Now we return to black to paint all the black parts of the armor which we haven't noticed before. For silver parts of the mini, we'll be using silver color from Model Air. This paint dries fast, but it gives us great results, so we would recommend you to get one if you don't have it already. And for the golden parts, we are using Retributor Armor by Citadel. We continue painting all the little details with silver color. We apologize if the painting process may seem a little chaotic at times, but sometimes you notice things and details you haven't before, or you get a new idea and abandon the old one. For the purity seals, we've decided to use royal purple to create some contrast with yellow and black. Lime green could have been another good option. Now we mix pale yellow and golden brown to create an old paper color to paint the parchments of the purity seals. We're also using it for skulls, such as the one on the shoulder plate. This is also a great mixture for the outlines of the figure. Something very Games Workshop style, and something we don't typically do. But this outline on the backpack is, in our opinion, one of the best we've done, which isn't to say much. Regardless of the outcome, don't be afraid to leave your comfort zone to learn new things and gain experience. Now pretend to write something using the black color and the parchments are done. Next, with Rhinox hide, we are painting the holster and pockets in the backs of the Space Marine to resemble leather. With Stegadon scale green and black, we outline the fabrics in the front and the other black parts of the miniature. We highlight the purity seals using Warlord Purple. We're back to silver to paint the details of the sword scabbard. Next, we paint the crossguard of the sword with bronze color from Game Air. We do use Model Air and Game Air colors for metal parts a lot, as they are more diluted and easy to work with. And just as a friendly reminder, remember to use a different brush when using metallic colors. We are also using silver to outline and highlight the golden parts and to try to create reflection. Then we continue painting other silver parts that we haven't painted before. To paint the head, we prime the Mini in black using NATO black, and then we use USAAF light gray for overhead lighting effect. We move on to Rust, which is really just a shade of brown, and we use it in the lower part of the head to create contrast and shadow. Now we apply just one thin coat of skin tone with Gulliman flesh on top, and the head is finished for now. The next step is to apply USAAF light gray with the help of Airbrush Flow Improver to start working on the plasma gun. We use this mixture only on the part which we want to be illuminated with plasma. Now we add royal purple to the mix, as it seems to balance well with yellow according to this chart. Remember that it's very important to dilute the white color towards snow-like effect. We apply the mixture slowly to the gun and work on highlights. In this case we are using Warlord Purple, but remember you can use any color you like with this method. Now we use Quid Pink to highlight these higher parts of the gun. If we want to take it to the next step, we can even use some white on top. We go back to the sword. Using Stegadon Scale Green, we attempt to create a black leather effect. Not very successfully, so we camouflage the disaster using null oil. Using the shade helps us create shadows and bring attention to parts of the miniature we want to be seen, and away from any possible errors or areas that don't look as good. It's a nice little trick that may help you sometimes. Next step, decals. If you're having issues applying decals, you can try to make some small cuts, for example at 10 and 2 o'clock as if it were a clock. We also have a video tutorial where we show how to apply decals. If you're interested, we could bring an English version to this channel as well. Now onto the base. There's this skull, as you can see, which we are painting very simply, just using some black and silver paint, as if it were a used metal. For the rest of the base, we are using Agrel and Badland, applying a nice thick coat. We let the base dry and move on to highlight the holster, using Beige Brown by Vallejo. We chose this red skull decal for the small shield on the Imperial Fist chest. And done. Simple but effective. Back to the base. We apply a coat of Martian Ironcrust texture all over the base of the Mini. And here's a little trick. You can use a hairdryer to make it dry quicker. We are using a shader from Ammo in color Earth for the lower parts of the legs and the shield. For these shaders, remember to apply matte varnish first. We will go into more details about this product in a future video, but basically what they do is darken the shadows and dye them a slightly different color. Now we glue the head to the body, and here you can see what the Mini looks like. We mix Cassandra Yellow with neon oil and apply it to the base. The shield looks a bit boring at this point, but we are still trying to figure out what to do with it. So in the meantime, we use black to paint the sides of the base. Finally feeling inspired, we've returned to silver, our best friend in this video, and we paint the details on the inner side of the shield. Then, with airbrush, we start applying blue shades to the shield, starting with contour blue. The idea is to make it look like an energy reactor of sorts that absorbs the shots directed at the shield. Each time we mix lighter and lighter colors, continuing with light turquoise and then USAAF light grey. Before we've created purple plasma for the gun, and now we're making a blue version of it for the shield. Finally, we paint all the details as well as the edges with USAAF light grey or a similar whitish color. The shield is now finished. If you want, you can paint the fist with this blue shade as well, as if it were reflecting the plasma, and we could have even used a blue wash over this part of the shield, but we didn't. So this is the final result, and here are some photos of what this Imperial Fist Space Marine looks like. Thank you for staying with us until the end. I hope you liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. If you have any questions, comments or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below and we will read them. That's all for today. I'll see you next time.